What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Or welcome if it's your first time here. It is raining outside right now. It's not a huge pour down rain, but it's a constant drizzle to the point where I can't make a video outdoors. Of course, I could get in under my shed. However, the rain hitting the roof would mess the audio up completely. So I decided to come in here today and do a little research online, look through some news articles, and to try to find something that I thought that was interesting and important, and I thought I would share it with you all here in this video. You know, there's been a lot of talk recently about cyber attacks, cybersecurity. Every day we're being bombarded with this cyber attacks, hacks, ransomware, just like we were with the pandemic. They keep repeating to build the fear up, and this, in my opinion, is actually much more serious than the pandemic was. But again, that's just my opinion. Your opinion might differ from mine, and that's okay. You know, people have different opinions, different thoughts on these things. However, I use this platform to share my opinions with you all, and hopefully you all appreciate my opinions and actually will think about it, whether or not you completely agree or not. I mean, it's great if everybody does agree. However, that can get problematic too, because you have no varying thought. So it's good to have varying thought and to post those thoughts in the comments below, because no one is always right. Everyone has different opinions and different thoughts, and sometimes you might be right or I'm wrong. However, this article here is talking about, you know, cybersecurity. This is from the New York Times website. I'll put a link in the description box below so you can check this article out for yourself. But it says, are we waiting for everyone to get hacked? It's been almost a decade since Leon Panetta, the Secretary of Defense, warned of an impending cyber Pearl Harbor. He didn't want to be right. Leon Panetta is one of the few American government officials who can look around at the nation's rolling cyber disasters and justifiably say, "I told you so." In just the past few months, hackers, we still don't know who, were caught messing with the chemical controls at a water treatment plant in Florida in what appeared to be an attempt to contaminate the water supply just ahead of the Super Bowl weekend in Tampa. Ransomware attacks are striking every 8 minutes, crippling hospitals and American mainstays like gas, meat, television, police departments, NBA basketball, and minor league baseball teams, even ferries to Martha's Vineyard. This past week, the targets were one of the world's largest meatpacking operations and the hospital that serves the villages in Florida, America's largest retirement community. The week before, it was the pipeline operator that carries half the gas, jet fuel, and diesel to the East Coast. And the attack that forced the pipeline to shut down triggered panic buying and gas shortages, and was days from being mass transit and chemical refineries, bringing mass transit and chemical refineries to their knees. I've got to get some glasses, guys. China continues to cart off America's intellectual property, most recently in an aggressive cyber assault on the defense industry base. And curiously, New York Metropolitan Transportation Authority, Russia's government hackers have shut off the power in Ukraine twice. They've reached the control switches at American power plants and breached nuclear plants too. And Russia's elite intelligence agency, the SBR, slithered its way through hundreds of American companies and government agencies for 9 months before it was caught. In the process, it wrecked confidence in the cyber supply chain, in the software supply chain, and officials can see its agents are quite still inside. But with so much of the nation's critical infrastructure, 85% in private hands, this is important, guys, with so much of the nation's critical infrastructure, 85% in private hands, government can only do so much. Now right there is the key part to this article, in my opinion. And whether or not, you know, these cyber attacks are an inside job, whether or not it's done by Russia, China, Iran, the CIA, or some other operatives. It doesn't really matter. It matters, however, the end result is going to be the same. And that is that the government will let these happen. They will let what's going on happen. Infrastructure be shut down. Pipelines shut down. The banking system attacks on the banking system, attacks on critical infrastructure in general. They'll let this happen to the point where people are demanding action. And when people demand action, the government steps in and takes control. It's the old, disaster, crisis, solution. We have a crisis, and they offered a solution, their solution, and that solution is they take more power and more control. And what this is going to lead to, in my opinion, is that they're going to let this get out of control. These companies are, and whether or not, like I said, it doesn't really matter who it is that is actually behind these cyber attacks, these ransomware attacks. The government will let it go long enough and then step in and try to do a forced takeover of the private sector and the critical infrastructures. And that's what they're working on. Anything that happens, the government looks at this, and so do the globalists. We have everyone trying to take control. We have the federal government trying to get more control from the states, trying to get more control from the people. We have the globalists who are actually in control of the federal government. They're all scurrying to try to gain control, to gain power, and to bring in that new world order, that one world government type system. They're all working, they're all trying to gain power, and their objectives are always the same. More power, more control, and take more away from the people. And these cyber attacks that we've been seeing, when they get bad enough and people start demanding action, when the critical infrastructure is brought down by these cyber attacks, and like I said, it doesn't matter who are the perpetrators causing this, the result's going to be the same. And that is the government will take over private industry, especially with the critical infrastructure. They will say it has to be done for the safety and prosperity. They will do some kind of a big, massive takeover, and they'll be in control of critical infrastructure. And it could be that they're trying to do this because they want to take more control over the internet in general, over all the internet companies, all the internet traffic, everything. Well, we know anything that happens that causes any type of crisis, the government steps in to offer the solution, and their solution is always taking power away from the people, taking power away from the companies, taking your wealth, your prosperity away, and putting it in the hands of the federal government. And that's what the plan is here, I think, guys. I don't think it's random. I think it is all planned, orchestrated, and that's what we're seeing. If you look at the Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, they want to control everything, and that includes critical infrastructure, and everything is tied in with the Internet of Things, and that is a big part of their spying and power grid is to control the Internet. And everything we're seeing now is going to cause people to panic. People are going to be in fear. People are going to demand action, and then, of course, what happens? Government comes in, bureaucrats come in, take control, mess everything up even worse most every time. But they want more control, more power over the internet and over the critical infrastructure. That's actually in private hands, like the pipelines, the meat processing plants, the banking system. They want to come in, take full control over all of that. And this is going to give them a great excuse to do that. I think this is step 2 in the whole takeover operation. We had the pandemic, and now we have the cyber attacks, the cyber pandemic or pandemic that we see going on here. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the video, give it a big thumbs up. I really appreciate it, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I'm the Creekmore. I'm out of here.